Hello, peace be upon you. Welcome to another episode of the Happiness Revolution, where I talk about wisdom, age-old wisdom that has caused revolutions before, has changed people's lives throughout history, and will change your life today. Because the same old ideas apply to human nature as they did thousands of years ago, because human nature hasn't changed. So, with that introduction, people are thinking, how can we really cause a revolution? Or how can an individual cause a revolution? Don't we need to all be going in the same direction together? And can we really make that happen? So, what is the ultimate truth that will bring humanity together? That's the question. Because only when we're united together, going in one direction, can we save the environment? Can we save economics? Can we fight against the evil forces that are within human nature that allows us to be controlled by a few people? So evil forces are within us that make us selfish and easily distracted by materialistic things, and also the evil forces when people get power, they become corrupted. As they say, power corrupts, but only corrupts when there's evil within us. So how do we fix all these problems? Is when we move together in one direction. And I feel silly, because I had this plan. I try not to plan my videos too much, but I had this plan to use the word One Direction, because in my last video I talked about Let It Go. There's another song theme there. Anyway, but what is that One Direction? I feel terrible saying it now. That is God. So, and it's the one thing that people don't want to do. They don't really want to go back to God. But as I said in my last video, we kind of, our inner nature wants us to be at one with God, yet we keep denying ourselves that, and we end up being like zombies, following materialistic pursuits that never make us happy, which make us cold inside, as it were. So God doesn't need anything from us. We need to connect to God to be at one with humanity, the animals of the world, the plants of the world, etc. So that is the one thing that will suck us back, by turning ourselves back to God, submitting our will and pointing ourselves, or redirecting ourselves back to God, to the existence, to accepting the existence of God, because it's a very simple thing to realize that God must exist. It can't. Our complicated bodies cannot have been made by accident. If you just ask yourself the simple question, it's not easily possible that we could have been made, right? So there's two options. You've got this incredibly complicated thing called a human being, okay, and is it highly possible? What's the possibility that we could have been made by accident? So it's very not likely. So it's very highly possible that God exists. And on the other side, we can say maybe God doesn't exist. What are our options? Just start being honest with ourselves. We'll have to believe that God does exist. You could say we've had millions of years to evolve. That's kind of a lie, because we only started evolving at a certain period in time towards being a human being, as it were. So if you look at that, that's a lie in itself. We evolved very quickly towards becoming a human being, and all the intricacies of even tiny cells of our body to be made, they are incredibly complicated. For them to work to make this thing called a human being is amazing. So all I'm asking you is to start following the truth within yourself, and what will happen is when you start believing in God, which is the ultimate truth, then you'll start being truthful to yourself in the rest of your life. The reason why we can carry on damaging the environment, even though we know it's bad for us as a society and as individuals, is because when we're generally being dishonest to ourselves, we allow ourselves to be dishonest in so many ways, even though they are bad for us. Just like when you take drugs, when you have bad habits and wrong habits in your life, then you move towards self-destructive habits. So God is that ultimate truth. When you become at one with yourself, you start shedding all the lies in your lives, and you start following truth, you start changing your life. You see, for example, if you start believing in God, then you'll realize and you know that there's a God that's watching you and is always involved in your life, then you know that you can't lie to this person, because any real God will know what's happening in your thoughts. That's a deeper philosophy. We can talk about that in more detail. How do you know that this God knows what's in your mind and all this kind of stuff? That's another talk. But suppose if you follow the truth within yourself, you'll realize, yeah, that God this incredibly smart God will at least know that much, right? So the point I'm trying to make is that people wonder how this revolution can happen. Well, God is always sending messengers and prophets and things like this to create these revolutions. If you look at the stories of these people, they're simple human beings who somehow cause a revolution and change the world. So God is all behind the revolution. But if you try to do it your way, then it will fail. When you start listening to God, then you will be at peace, the revolution will happen, we'll get together and become united. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my videos, do the thumbs up stuff, like my videos, sorry, so it can go up the rankings that more people can watch. That can be your part of the revolution, and talk about these things to other people and ask other people to watch these videos so they become even more popular. Thank you for watching.